Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Everton 1, Manchester City 3, Goodison Park. Still can't really, I don't know, I'm still struggling to process the game as such. It did mean some reaction from the ground, and I don't know, probably wasn't as coherent as I wanted to be, because it was just a strange game. City started really well first 20 minutes and looked like they were going to blow us away. Obviously scored the goal after Gundogan had hit the bar and as well, and when we worked our way back into the game and got a goal, and then played really well in the second half for most part, but naiveness and mistakes have cost us maybe getting something out of the game. Maybe, I'm not saying we would have, I'm just saying maybe. Manchester City are a fantastic side, and you know, they had a few really good chances. We had a couple of chances off set pieces, but they had a really good, a few really good chances that on another day they would have took. But then I suppose that's when you've got to take your chances. They're not always going to, some games they're going to blow you away, and some games they're going to give you a little chance. That's actually why I think Manchester City won't win the league this season, is because I do think their last two away games in the Premier League have shown that. I'm not saying you can get at them, but I do, because I don't think that's... I just think at times they don't even overplay. I think what it is I think it's just that every time they go forward, they think they're going to score, and I think sometimes it bites them on the arse if they don't score every time, because sometimes it can lead to them opening the back door. But so I don't know whether to feel disappointed or happy to be played all right, or then disappointed because in the last few weeks we've been getting cheated. I mean, at the end of the day, we've lost the last 3 games in the Premier League, and we've lost 4 Premier League games now, and that's not good enough. We've still got 7 points, and I suppose next week is the real barometer to see what we do next week. Do we take the good parts of this performance and move forward? We'll have to wait and see. But let's get into the player ratings. Jordan Pickford. I thought he was crap tonight. I'll be honest. I thought at times at the back the passing was ridiculous, and I thought, the mistake he made for the second goal was clear and obvious, and he's made that mistake a few times now where people have had free kicks and they've gone his side and he hasn't been able to save them. I think Ericsson did it, towards the end of the season, last game of the season, for Spurs. I think we've seen one against Wolves last season. It's happened far too many times for my liking, and then, there was a little thing at the end where he came out and he said he's calmed down, but I think he should be saving that. I really do. I think he should be saving that. And I think this season, at times he's been far too flappy. Is that a word? He's not commanding his box enough for me. He really isn't. It's just not commanding it. And last week you could say both of the goals he was partly responsible for last week. So, I thought he had a really good start to the season as well. So I'm going to give him a. Honestly, I feel that free kick was so savable. I'm giving him a 4, because I just thought that free kick was really savable, and I might be giving him too much for that, because I thought it was so savable that he should have saved it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, really disappointed in him tonight. Really disappointed in him, because at 1-1, we're just about to bring a striker on. The manager obviously feels like he can have a go, and we can see it there. So poor. Seamus Coleman. Again, this is a difficult one. I thought he was all right tonight, but you can see the difference in what you need from a right back, the way they play. Their full backs were like always playing as wingers all the time. And that's not Seamus Coleman's fault, but I think the difference is you can see the difference. There was one real clear difference I saw in this, real clear moment in the second half, which I thought was really interesting. It was when he got the better of Sterling and he beat Sterling, and Sterling nearly brought him down, but Seamus shrugged him off. Then Seamus got into the box and slowed right down, just slowed down, and it allowed Sterling to come back and knock the ball out for a corner. And I just thought that illustrated the difference in the way they played and the way we play, or the way the top teams play to the way we play. We, at some point, we have to slow it down because you're looking around for passes where they're just, everything they do is just off the cuff, organic. They're such good footballers and they play in such a style, and it's drilled into them that they worked so hard tonight, Man City as well. So I think Seamus, he had the goal taken off of him, but I'm delighted by that. I'll speak more about that later when it's about Dom. But overall, I'll give him a 7. I thought he did. I thought he was okay. Lucas Dean on the other side, I didn't think Dean played well. I honestly didn't. I thought it was one of his poorest games. He was stopped on getting forward, and defensively, I thought he looked quite poor tonight. I don't think defensively he's looked that good this season at all. I really don't. And I don't know whether it's because the managers broke up that side with him and Bernard, and obviously Bernard wasn't available tonight because he was sick. But he hasn't looked the same player, I don't think. And I just thought defensively tonight, I just thought he looked really poor. Really poor. He wasn't closing down well enough. It just didn't look like he was 100% committed like the Man City players were. So I'll give him a 5 because I don't know what people will feel like that, but I just didn't think he had a good game. Yerry Mina, I thought he played well tonight. I thought he was unlucky not to score. I thought out of the 2 centre-backs, if we had another centre-back now, it would be Michael Keane who'd have to be looking over his shoulder and not Yerry Mina. I think he looks the best out of our 2. If you're gonna have, if they're both the same kind of player, for me, Yerry Mina is the one at the moment who's doing more to keep himself in the team. But we don't, and we desperately need, I think, just that alternative of someone at the back with pace that can. I'm not saying we'll play all the time, but because it's horses for courses. But I think Yerry's playing well. I think you know. I thought he commanded a little bit more tonight off corners. He's always a threat. Probably should be a bit more of a threat. So I think I'll give Yerry Mina a 7. Michael Keane. He doesn't look comfortable at the moment, Michael Keane. And I think maybe that is because he's playing alongside someone who hasn't got the pace, and they're both the same kind of player. I think on the ball, I think that's a big strength of his, but I don't know whether he looks uncomfortable. I think he's a massive confidence player, and I think since the England game, he just hasn't. Again, looks like his confidence has been dented. He's reverted into himself a little bit. I don't get me wrong, he wasn't terrible. I just think that those 2 centre backs are just there is that little issue in there of having no pace between them. So. Well, there is pace, don't get me wrong, but like that killer pace that can get you out of trouble. So I'll give Michael Keane a 6. Ahead of them 2, Morgan Schneiderlin. I thought Morgan Schneiderlin had a really good game tonight. I did. I thought he had a really good game. I think they're the games I think he will play well in. I think he broke the play up well. He made fouls when he needed to. Kept it nice and simple. And I thought he did really well tonight. Obviously he's not everyone's cup of tea, and I think we've said it a few times on the show. In games like Sheffield United, he shouldn't be playing, but in games like Man City, then you probably are going to have to play him because you need that protection. So I thought he played quite well tonight. So I'll give him a 7.5. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.5. Next one, Delph. I thought Fabian Delph was excellent tonight, and I'm going to give him an 8. I thought on the ball he was excellent. I think he had wanted to show tonight, had a point to prove, and I thought he was excellent. Used the ball really well, broke the play up, got away from City midfielders really well as well. So as I said, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he had a really good game. Ahead of them, Gylfi Sigurdsson really should have put us ahead. The ball, great ball over, and I don't know whether he could have nodded it over the keeper but he tried to bring it down, and then he loses it, and then he played some really good balls. He played a great ball for Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the second half, which Dom tried to just dink over the keeper. It was a great run by Dom, and he tried to dink it over the keeper, and the keeper got a hand on it. But again, though, with it's you look at their players and how fast, and you watch someone like Kevin De Bruyne, you can't help but just pay at how good he is, and how everything just comes so easy for him, and they've got the pace and everything. Where Sigurdsson, you can tell exactly what he wants to do, and he's probably got the technique to do it, but it's just that fraction too slow against people like that. I didn't think he was terrible. I would have took him off and left Iwobi on and put Iwobi into the centre of midfield, and just looked for a little bit more hustle and bustle in there. But he didn't see that. But that's so. I'll give Sigurdsson a 6. Theo Walcott, I'll have to mention him now because I mean, you start the game, which baffles people, and then he gets a head injury like that, and what can you say? I mean, I can't give him a score, can I? There's no way I can give him a score, but just really unfortunate for him. I don't know why he's starting the game. I really don't, but I don't know. He must have been doing really well in training, but really unfortunate injury. So, but obviously Iwobi did come on for him and then was subbed off, which is the ultimate slap in the face, isn't it? I just thought Iwobi, when he came on, Iwobi just looked like, what am no. I know it was very, very early. It was like 4 minutes, but he never really settled into the game. I mean, he did help set up our goal, but he never really looked comfortable. And I don't know whether he is comfortable on that left-hand side. He found himself in a lot more central areas during the game. But I didn't think he played particularly well. But I would have left him on in the centre of the park just to have a little bit more dynamism in there to drive us forward. So I will give Iwobi 5.5. On the other side, Richarlison, bright, energetic, always wanted to run at them, won some really good fouls, free kicks in good areas. Just never got that chance tonight, that killer chance. Had a couple of saying he had one header, I think he took off Keane's head. But can't fault his work, right? But unfortunately tonight is... he started on the left, didn't he? And so I don't know whether it's, again, it's thrown the game plan out the window slightly, but yeah. So I'll give him a 6.5. He was all right, but just never had the killer touch. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, I thought, I'm delighted he got the goal, and I'm delighted he stole it off Seamus Coleman, although I did think that it was going to be called offside because you do get that moment of fear. I think that's the first goal this season I've not properly celebrated, thinking that it was going to be disallowed, just because I thought Dom was offside and thought it would be, but obviously it wasn't. But I'm delighted he stole a goal because I think as a good centre forward, that's what you should be doing. 4 goals in his last 3 starts. And I thought he worked really, really hard tonight. I thought he got amongst them. He really likes playing against Manchester City. I thought he got amongst them. I thought he battled with them. I thought he knew that he had the better of them. I don't think we used them enough. And I want to see that more of him playing like that. I want us to mix the play up so we do go long to him if he's playing. He got behind them. He could have got, maybe he was unlucky not to get a second goal, and then there was one where Mina headed it and the goalkeeper saved it, and I don't know, he threw out himself at it, but he put it the wrong side of the post. I just thought he looked far more dangerous and looked a threat to them, and we haven't seen that enough from him this season. And I don't know whether that comes down to the tactics, that we're not going long enough, because I just think we should be going long at times in the game. There's nothing wrong with mixing it up. So I think we should be going long at times. So I'm going to give him 8.5. I just thought it was all round. No, I'll give him 8. I'll just give him 8. Sorry, I'll give him 8. I don't want to get thrown too high. People will moan at me. No, I'll give him 8. I'll give him 8. I just thought he had a good all round game. And the manager couldn't take him off because he was a real threat. Just in getting us up the pitch, and sometimes you have to do that, and we don't do that enough. We should have been doing that last week against Sheffield United. We should have had him on the pitch and him trying to get flick-ons for people just to get us higher up the pitch, to get in behind them. If it's not working one way, don't keep doing it. Try and do it another way. There's nothing wrong. Man City did that tonight. He kept on going diagonal passes long, so there's nothing wrong with that. So I'll give him an 8 because he did all right. And as I said, I'm delighted he stole the goal because I want to see that more. I want to see him in the box. That's 2 goals he scored this week in the 6-yard box. I want to see that more from him. So there you go. So that's, I'll give him an 8. The other subs, Moise Keane came on, still looks really, really rusty. Just wants to get the ball and run at people. So I'll give him a 7. Just wants to run at people. Doesn't always come off. But you can see, he's not a lone striker, and I, he might be a striker who can play wide, but then we have to play in a 3. To play in a 3, we need the right players. Have we got the right players? I don't know. We certainly need, I think, as I said, a right back who can play higher up the pitch, and midfielders. And I think the manager's already said that. And the other sub was Tom Davis, and I'm delighted Tom came on. Added something, tried to play some clever little passes. Okay, they didn't always come off, but tried to play some intelligent passes into areas where he played a lovely one into Sigurdsson, where the ball was actually out wide, and everyone's sort of looking at that pass. But he played a lovely one inside to Sigurdsson, and Sigurdsson just couldn't get his touch right, and nothing come from it. But he does something a little bit different and drives forward. He's not everyone's cup of tea, so I'll give him a 7 as well. But as I mentioned before, just one of those games where I feel robbed from other performances. And we've got to take that into the game next week. And we've got to start getting up for games with teams that aren't in the top 6 or in the top 4 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's the most annoying thing. And maybe that's what the manager will say. The manager will probably say the same thing. He might say that, but... and listen, I'm not sitting here going, oh, well, it was the champions, that's what happened, at least we had a go. I genuinely think we could have got something out of tonight, but it wasn't to be. And I think, as I said, I'm not happy with Jordan Pickford. I think he seriously cost us tonight. And we'll have to see how often that happens, because the manager's... I know generally he's fine, but the manager's got decisions to make there of saying, well, you know what? If he hasn't got a player pushing him all the time, then is he going to get any better? I think the lads cost us tonight. I really do. You don't concede goals like that. I'm sorry. You can see goals. If Man City whip through us and score, I've got no problem. But an error like that, very, very poor. Very, very poor. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you disagree, it's fine. Let me know your thoughts. That's cool. If you're on Patreon as well, make sure to check out the player ratings form. Fill your player ratings in so we can gather all that information and get a player of the month at the end of the month. Make sure to check out my instant reaction from the Gladys Street, Baz's instant reaction, and Baz's 3 things from today. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. I'll see you later.